Hey everybody. So lately there's been quite a bit of hubbub on YouTube about different knife grinds and what's the best out there, what performs the best, what's the best overall grind. And anybody who really knows me or knows my attitude towards knife grinds, I'm all for a convex grind, a properly done convex. I think it outperforms anything out there in most general cutting tasks, from wood carving to slicing to push cutting to going through all various medias. I think a convex grind performs the best in pretty much every scenario. Of course, I do think there are exceptions out there of some things that could outperform it in some instances, but overall, convex grind has my vote hands down. There's been talk from a few different sides on YouTube. There's Randy over at Solo's Knife Reviews, Kylie Harris at Knives and Stuff, and Mind's Mirror. Mind's Mirror and Kylie Harris are, of course, for the convex grind, if you've been following. And Randy has voiced his opinion towards the hollow grind is what he believes is the best for him, best performer. As far as I interpret it, if I am wrong, please correct me. But my vote is definitely towards the convex grind. As far as performance goes, definitely think it's the best. There's so many different ways to test these things, but even as ease of sharpening, I think convex is easier. If you've handled a convex and you've tried maintaining it, sharpening and maintaining the edge is a breeze. And right here in front, I've got a Spyderco Ladybug, which from the factory is a hollow ground knife, a ridiculously thick hollow ground knife. And there's still a little bit of hollow left in there, but overall it's almost a zero convex. There's a little bit of a micro bevel on there, but before the edge was extremely thick and it bound up in a lot of cutting, so there's really no use for having such a small knife with a really thick edge and everything. Now it performs like a dream. And one thing that I like to do to test various edge bevels and everything, and to see how well they perform or get a general idea, is to take my nail. Here's a little Warncliffe with a V-ground edge, and taking your nail and putting it on the bevel and sliding it down. If you feel a bit of a catch and a snag when you pull it down, it's like there's a little lip on there, chances are it's not going to perform all that well. This is just from my personal experience, and I really back this up for the most part. But if you can really feel resistance trying to slide your nail over there, chances are it's going to bind up a little bit in what you're cutting, or at least slow down the cut. Now with this Ladybug here, pretty much a zero convex, taking my nail going up to the very edge and sliding it down, no resistance. Just a smooth transition all the way to the spine. And really, it results in pretty much no binding and pretty effortless cutting. So here's a piece of leather. This little knife can go through it effortlessly now that there's no big old thick edge. It just performs extremely well. Why Spyderco makes such a small knife with a thick blade stock, hollow ground, and then has a really thick edge on there, it's just beyond me. But it performs extremely well now. And I even have a Spyderco UKPK, which is hollow ground, but I did put a little bit of a blended convex edge on there, so I kind of blended the shoulder a little bit to increase the performance. And it's extremely easy to maintain the edge now, and it is very, very sharp, and the cutting performance is improved quite a bit by doing that blending. But there is still quite a bit of resistance, but not as much as before. And still, just this little knife cuts effortlessly into this leather. Pretty thick leather too. And pretty much all my knives now have blended edges, you know, have the shoulders taken off. Here's Spyderco Stretch, really great knife. Got the shoulder blended just a little bit, not much. But running my nail along that, there's really no snag. There's a little bit, but otherwise it's pretty good. Personally, I recommend that you guys go ahead and check your knives and see if you can feel that. Feel that resistance when you slide it down. You'll feel that lip catch on your nail. Now, I'm not actually putting my nail on the edge, I'm putting it right before it, on that bevel, and sliding it over the lip. If you can kind of see my nail slide over that and kind of bend upwards, you'll get an idea of what I'm saying. And then again, with this pretty much zero convex, no hang up or anything, just a very smooth transition. And you know, these convex edges are so easy to maintain. You know, with a strop, I actually have a strop here with some diamond spray on it, and the surface of this is actually buffed. It's extremely smooth, so I'm not actually using the skin side of the leather anymore. So this is nice and buffed, and then on the other side is some Strapman green compound. And really this will take care of any sharpening or touch-ups that you'll need. So, you know, just a few swipes on each side, and it's extremely easy to hit the apex of the edge when it's ground convex and everything. You really don't need a very steep angle. I can sharpen and maintain a convex edge so much easier than a V-edge. And over here I have a Spyderco ultrafine ceramic bench stone, and I will use this on my convex edges to do touch-ups on the very apex of the edge. But overall, I still prefer sandpaper. You know, I could take a 2000 grit sandpaper, lay it on top of a strop, and get a hair whittling edge in just minutes, because it's so easy to do. Whereas using a stone, typically have to clean the pores of the stone so it cuts like it should, and so it abrades the metal. But overall, I really can't support a convex edge, convex ground knife enough. You know, the performance is there, ease of maintenance. And Randy at Solo's Knife Reviews mentioned that you typically have to grind out or grind the whole bevel of the knife, or not necessarily bevel, but touch the whole grind in order to fix the edge if there's a chip or anything, which I really do not think is the case. Right here I have my CKC Streamline, and the other day I cut through an old checkbook just for the hell of it, and there was a big old staple in there, and I dinged the edge, and it is kind of a rollover. It's not really a chip or anything. Can't really see it from this side. This side you can see it a little bit. I tried honing it out and everything, but really can't get much more. But it really doesn't impede the cut, so there's really no reason for me to grind it out of there. Still cuts perfectly fine. So until I need to really grind the edge, I'm not going to go ahead and grind that out of there, because it really doesn't impede cutting performance. So I'll just leave it in. It is noticeable, but it's really no big deal. And really, when you sharpen these things, you don't have to touch the whole bevel. You know, just stropping on the edge, touching it with sandpaper down here, You could even use a stone if you wanted to, just varying angles and everything to maintain that convex. It's extremely easy to sharpen, and you really don't have to sharpen up very high. So it's kind of a misconception, I guess, but you don't have to grind the whole entire bevel just to sharpen the edge. Extremely easy to sharpen, and of course you can take it down right to the edge with how thin you get it. See, there's no shoulders or anything, just a nice lean cutting grind, tapered pretty much all the way to the apex of the edge. And cutting performance is just amazing in my opinion when the convex grind is done properly. So, you know, I guess that's just my 2 cents. You know, take it for what it's worth. And if anybody can refute it themselves, and I'd like to see you try. Not to say that other people do not think that some grinds work better than others and one grind works best for them, but if given the chance and you can try out a properly done convex, I don't think you'll turn back. You know, I think there is proof that a convex outperforms anything else out there, but can't really force anybody to think a certain way or like something just because somebody else does. But I guess I'm kind of just rambling now. So anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. Just my 2 cents on the topic. I'm for convex all the way. Best grind for me. And even all my knives here have pretty much blended edges. Really like this ZT.